Hello, everyone. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, and it's spooky. I'm sitting in the dark, not because I want it to be spooky, because my right eye is infected with something and I can hardly see. Everything is blurred, so the dark helps. Anyway, I'm bringing you Midas Touch podcast, a sampling of it, not the whole thing. And there's just some important information in there about Steve Bannon, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Ivanka Trump, uh, everyone in the MAGA, I would say, head honchos network is in this, and I want you to listen to it, not because it's the lawsuit about Rudy Giuliani, but because paragraphs 96 and 132, I think, are the ones that are fantastic. You have to listen to this.
This is Michael Popak, Legal AF, right on the heels of Donald Trump being found to be a sexual abuser of E. Jean Carroll. Rudy Giuliani sued today at New York State Supreme Court trial level court by Noelle Dunphy, a former longtime employee of his, who in a lurid and detailed complaint spanning over 250 paragraphs alleges that Rudy Giuliani is a sexist, sexual predator and abuser of her, forcing her into a sexual relationship against her will, forcing her to commit sexual acts frequently while keeping her both on the payroll and off the payroll, forcing her to work for him in a quid pro quo that was to her detriment into the several millions of dollars. In the complaint that was filed by a law firm out of Brooklyn, Noelle Dunphy, who has been very, very public about having worked for Rudy Giuliani, there are numerous photos of the two of them together over time at various social events. In fact, if you Google it, you're hard-pressed to find a photo in which Rudy Giuliani is not with Noelle Dunphy. So that whole ridiculous non-defense of Donald Trump, I don't even know the person, I never met her, that's not going to work for Rudy Giuliani, because there are text messages reproduced in the complaint. There are photos of them together in a social environment. And that's the headline. The headline is Rudy Giuliani, just like Donald Trump, sued in New York that will be seeking a New York jury on claims that he is a sexist, sexual abuser, committed assault and battery against her of a sexual nature, gender violence against her under New York law, failed to pay her proper wages under New York law, and they're seeking punitive and compensatory damages and attorney's fees, the like. That's the headline. But there's something that, if you look deeper into the actual complaint that goes on for almost several hundred paragraphs, which I did, there are at least two paragraphs that are going to be of interest to Jack Smith and Smartmatic in its suit against Fox. So everybody lean in on this one. If you go into the complaint, we're going to post a copy of it here, and I'll make it available on my Twitter, social media for those that are interested. There are buried within there, in paragraphs 96 and 132. So if you're playing the Rudy Giuliani is an alleged sexual predator home game, go to paragraph 96 and you will see in there that Noelle, who was not a lawyer, she was the head of his business development as a non-lawyer. Therefore, there was no attorney-client privilege. She says she had access to emails and text messages while she was employed for people such as Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Keith Bannon, Steve Bannon, Kellyanne Conway, Donald Trump, Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, and even Bob Costello, who's the lawyer that apparently is going to be defending Rudy Giuliani in this case, and had been the lawyer that testified for Trump before the grand jury to attack Michael Cohen. She's seen his text messages. That implies that she may have copies of text messages and emails that Rudy allowed to be released to a non-lawyer, breaching his fiduciary duties, breaching his rules of professional responsibility, in a state where, by the way, he is already suspended. His law license, as we know, or if you don't know, I'll tell you now, has already been suspended last year for other misconduct related to Jan 6 and the lawsuits that he presented, and suspended in Washington, D.C. These are events that allegedly took place when he was still a lawyer. She says she never signed a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement. And so paragraph 96 says to me, or the outside world, and if I'm reading it, Jack Smith and the Smartmatic defamation lawyers against Fox, she has emails potentially by Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Rupert Murdoch, and others. I'd like to see those. So that's one. This podcast is sponsored by Miracle Made Sheets. And use the code LEGALAF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over complaint. These are her words, not mine. I'm just reporting them. Paragraph 132 says that she believes that she was told by Rudy Giuliani that there was a pardon-selling scheme involving Donald Trump in which pardons would be for sale for $2 million while he was president, splitting the money. Attention, Jack Smith. We have another fraud on aisle 9 and another crime on aisle 9. So we're going to watch this carefully. The suit just got filed. Of course, we've already heard from the lawyers representing Rudy Giuliani, calling it all a lie and made up, and claiming other abuse against Noel in her filing. We'll follow it. We're far away from the discovery and the motion process related to this complaint. Just got filed today. We're going to follow it. I'm going to follow it on hot takes just like this one on the Midas Touch Network, which I do about every day. And we'll follow it in terms of long-term and continuity on a podcast that I co-founded and